The hidden cost of buying too much house. Imagine getting a raise at work. Not a small raise, a big one. The kind that finally makes you feel like you're moving up in life. You celebrate, you update your budget, you start thinking bigger. And then you make what seems like the obvious next move. You buy a bigger house. A few months later, something strange happens. Your income is higher than ever, but your bank account keeps shrinking. You look around and wonder, how am I making this much money and still feeling broke? The answer might not be your spending habits. It might be your house. Today, we're going to talk about one of the biggest financial traps in modern America, the oversized home. Not because home ownership is bad, not because real estate is a terrible investment, but because millions of people are buying far more house than they actually need, and it's quietly destroying their ability to build wealth. Let's break it down. Meet Jason. Jason is 35 years old. He earns a solid income, has a stable career, and recently purchased a beautiful home in a growing suburb. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a large backyard, a dedicated office, a bonus room. Everything looked perfect. His mortgage payment felt manageable. That's the key phrase. It felt manageable. Because Jason made the same mistake many buyers make. He looked at the mortgage payment and assumed that was the true cost of owning the home. It wasn't. A house doesn't stop costing money after the mortgage is paid. In many cases, that's just the beginning. Every extra square foot comes with a price tag. A larger home means higher utility bills, more space to heat, more space to cool, more lights, more maintenance, more cleaning, more furniture, more repairs, more insurance, more property taxes, and unlike the mortgage payment, many of these costs rise over time. Suddenly, the dream home starts acting more like a financial vacuum. Money goes in, very little comes out. The scary part is that most people never calculate the total ownership cost before they buy. They calculate what the bank says they can afford, and that's a dangerous mistake. Because banks aren't trying to maximize your financial freedom. They're trying to determine whether you can make the payment. Those are two completely different things. A lender might approve you for a home that consumes a huge portion of your income. Technically, you qualify. Financially, you struggle. And that's where the trap begins. Let's look at the bigger picture. Imagine 2 people. Both earn exactly the same income. Person A buys a large home at the top of their budget. Person B buys a smaller home well below their limit. At first glance, person A appears more successful. The bigger house, the nicer neighborhood, the impressive photos, the extra rooms. Everything looks great from the outside, but fast forward 10 years. Person B has something person A doesn't. Options. Person B has investments, emergency savings, retirement contributions, financial flexibility. Meanwhile, person A is spending thousands every year just maintaining their lifestyle. One person bought status, the other bought freedom, and freedom is usually the better investment. Here's something most people never think about. A bigger house often creates bigger spending. An empty room doesn't stay empty for long. You start buying furniture, decorations, electronics, storage solutions, area rugs, wall art. The house itself encourages spending. You convince yourself it's necessary. After all, you don't want half the rooms looking unfinished. Before you know it, you've spent thousands furnishing space that rarely gets used. And then there's maintenance. Roofs wear out. Water heaters fail. HVAC systems break. Floors need replacing. Paint fades. Landscaping grows. Everything eventually requires attention. The larger the house, the larger the bill. Many homeowners underestimate these expenses because they don't happen every month. They happen unexpectedly, and that's exactly what makes them dangerous. One major repair can wipe out years of savings. Now let's talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough: happiness. Most people assume larger homes automatically lead to better lives. But research consistently shows that once basic comfort needs are met, bigger houses don't create dramatically higher life satisfaction. What does improve happiness? Lower financial stress, more free time, greater flexibility, the ability to travel, the ability to save, the ability to spend time with family without constantly worrying about money. Those things matter far more than an extra guest room that sits empty 11 months a year. In other words, financial breathing room. often provides more happiness than square footage. And yet society keeps pushing the opposite message. Bigger is better. Upgrade. Move up, get more. Add another bedroom. Build a bigger house. Take on a larger mortgage. It's a message that's repeated so often that many people stop questioning it. But here's the truth. The goal isn't to own the biggest house you can afford. The goal is to build the strongest financial life you can afford. Those are not the same thing. Sometimes the smartest financial decision is buying less house than everyone expects. Because every dollar that doesn't go toward excessive housing costs can go somewhere else. Investments, retirement, starting a business, paying off debt, building security, creating opportunities. Those choices compound over time. A larger house usually doesn't. So before you buy your next home, ask yourself a simple question. Am I buying this house because it improves my life? Or am I buying it because it improves my image? That question alone could save you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. A house should be a tool, a place to live, a place to build memories, a place that supports your financial goals. The moment it starts preventing those goals, it becomes a problem. The most financially successful people aren't always the ones living in the biggest homes. Often, they're the people who understand that wealth isn't about looking rich. It's about having choices. It's about freedom. It's about owning your money instead of your money owning you. And sometimes the fastest path to financial freedom isn't upgrading your house. It's resisting the urge to do it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Would you rather own a bigger house or have more financial freedom? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.